You have probably said yes to something you didn't really want. A meeting, a purchase, a commitment, and later you wondered, why did I agree to that? The unsettling part isn't that it happened, it's that it felt like your decision. This video is about why it often isn't. We like to believe we decide carefully, that we weigh options. That logic comes first, but most of the time, the decision is already made before reasoning even begins. The mind doesn't ask, what is true? It asks, what usually works? What feels familiar? What requires the least effort right now? This is not a flaw, it's an adaptation. The human brain evolved under pressure. Speed mattered more than precision, so we learned shortcuts, mental reflexes, automatic responses. When certain cues appear, a favor, a crowd, an authority, a deadline, the brain doesn't analyze. It reacts, not because we're careless, but because efficiency kept us alive. When someone gives us something, even something small, a powerful tension appears. Obligation, not taught, not negotiated, felt. This is why free samples work, why unsolicited favors create discomfort, why saying no suddenly feels rude, even when the request is unreasonable. The rule isn't logical, it's social, and it runs deep. Once we take a small stand, the mind wants alignment. I already said yes. I already started. I don't want to look inconsistent. So the next yes becomes easier, and the next. Not because the decision improved, but because identity is now involved. We don't just protect our choices. We protect the story we're telling about ourselves. In uncertainty, we look sideways. What are others doing? Who else chose this? How many people already believe it? This is why popularity feels like evidence. Why silence feels dangerous. Why standing alone feels risky, even when you're right. The crowd doesn't convince us by logic. It convinces us by reducing doubt. Authority doesn't need to argue. A title, a uniform, confidence without explanation. And suddenly, questions stop forming. Not because we agree, but because the brain assumes someone else already did the thinking. This is how responsibility quietly transfers from the individual to the system. Nothing narrows the mind like loss. Limited time, limited access, limited supply. Scarcity doesn't make things better, it makes them louder. Under pressure, the brain stops asking, is this right? And starts asking, what if I miss it? Now combine them. A small favor, a public commitment, social validation, authority approval, a ticking clock. None of these forces feel overwhelming alone. Together, they bypass reflection entirely. This is not manipulation by villains. It's design exploiting predictability. Understanding influence isn't about control, it's about responsibility. If you're building products, cultures, or ideas, you are shaping environments where decisions happen automatically. The question isn't, how do I persuade better? It is, what kind of decisions am I training people to make without realizing it? This channel exists to slow thinking down, so choice becomes conscious again. Because the most powerful advantage isn't influence over others, it's awareness of influence over yourself.